Okay, continuing with test 2B. This is question 3, parts E and F went over onto the next page, so we'll just start from there in this video. It's more equation solving. I've got equations with brackets on each side, expressions there on each side that I just need to expand the bracket before I can do anything else. So I expand the brackets on each side. 4 by 2 is 8, so that's 8x. And 4 times 9 is 36, and that's equal to 3 5s are 15, so 15x, and 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. I have a larger number of x's on the right than the left, so I'm going to get rid of these on the left by subtracting the 8x. And I must do that to the right side as well. If I am doing that, then I've got to get rid of my numbers from the right-hand side, so the opposite of subtracting 6 is to add 6. I go ahead and do that. And now I've got 36. I said 6, and for some reason wrote a 4 there. That was very weird. Let's get that back in the right place. Sorry about that. Don't know what's going on there. That, of course, is a 6. Now I've done it in a different colour. Goodness me. A lot going on here. There's a 6. That looks a bit more like a 6. Okay, so 8x minus 8x cancels. 36 plus 6, 42. That's not too bad. 42 is equal to 15x minus 8x is 7x. And of course, negative 6 and 6 cancelled out. It's easy now. One step. Opposite of multiplying by 7 is to divide by 7. Therefore, we've got 6 is equal to x. You can write x equals 6 or the other way around. Happy with either. Part F, same thing. I've got a bracket to expand. Let's do that first. So this is equivalent to 14x plus 35 minus 6x equals 3. So all I did was expand 7 by 2x, 14x, 7 by 5, 35. Now what do? We collect our like terms. There's a 14x and a negative 6x. They are like terms. I'll go ahead and do that. So 14 minus 6, that's 8x plus 35 equals 3. Now the opposite of adding 35 is to subtract 35. I get rid of that bit next because that's got the least amount to do with my x. So I've got 8x equals negative 32. Final step, the opposite of multiplying by 4 is to divide by 4. It seems to not want to change colour when I want it to. The opposite of multiplying by 8 is to divide by 8. I think I was jumping ahead to the answer as I was talking there and having trouble with my pen. Yes, x is being multiplied by 8, so I divide each side by 8. Negative 32 divided by 8, and that's where the 4 came that I was talking about. Hard to keep my mouth up with the brain as it's racing ahead. What's the only change we need to make when we're solving inequalities? If you multiply or divide by a negative... Ooh. If you multiply or divide by a negative, we change the direction of the sign. You can hear that is our lockdown music. So I will just pause now and go into lockdown mode, and I'll have to catch you later, guys. Bye. Well, it's a long time since that practice lockdown drill. We left it where I'd just done the last 2 questions out of question 3, and I'd mentioned that with inequalities, it's exactly the same as solving equations, except if you multiply or divide by a negative, the direction of the sign changes. And we talked about how multiplying by a negative is rotating about the origin. And so the point that was further to the right, so I have this example here, there's A and B. I could say B is greater than A. When I multiply them by negative 1, B ends up over here at negative B, further from the origin than A, which ends up at negative A. So once I've multiplied each side by negative 1, negative B is less than negative A. So when we multiply by a negative, we need to change the direction of the sign. Other than that, it all works the same way. So here I've got 5 minus 3x is greater than 14. First thing I want to do is get rid of the 5 because it's got less to do with my x than the negative 3. What does that leave me with? I have negative 3x is greater than, and 14 minus 5 is 9. Now, to get x on its own, the opposite of multiplying by negative 3 is to divide by negative 3. So x is greater than, no, it's not greater than, is it? Change the sign, I divided by a negative. Less than negative 3. There you go, 9 divided by 3, negative 3. Beautiful. What about our next one? 2x over 3 plus 5 is less than or equal to 9. First step, get rid of whatever's got the least to do with my x. I'm going to subtract 5 from each side. Now I have, oh, where's my blue pen gone? It was doing this earlier too. 2x over 3 is less than or equal to 4. Now remember, you can do the next bit in 2 steps, or if you're really cool, multiply by the reciprocal. So I want to multiply by 3 to get rid of that denominator. I want to divide by 3 to get rid of that 2 in the numerator. So I'm going to do the same on the other side. That means that I'm cutting to my answer just that one step faster. X is less than or equal to, I didn't multiply by negative, so the direction of the sign stays the same. 4 times 3 divided by 2, 2 goes into 4 twice. So really I can just go 2 times 3 is 6. You want to see that in slow motion. 4 times 3 over 2. Remember, any factor on the bottom, 2 goes into that once, 2 goes into 4 twice. Cancels like that. And then that's how I got 2 times 3 equaling 6. I know some of us still need me to slow down a bit when I get to those fun things and just make sure we get it right. Here, I've got 4 in front of brackets, x plus 1 is greater than or equal to 7. Because 4 doesn't go into 7 nicely, I'm not going to do my division just yet. I'm going to expand my bracket first. So 4 times x is 4x, and 4 times 1 is 4. So 4x plus 4 is greater than or equal to 7. Subtracting 4 from each side. Oh, it really doesn't like changing colour today. Subtracting 4 from each side, just as I said I was going to. I now have 4x is greater than or equal to 3. Final step, divide each side by 4. And we have x is greater than or equal to 3/4. Don't need to change that. Leave your answer as a fraction. You're more likely to get it correct. Last one here. 6x plus 4 is less than 9x minus 8. I've got more x's on the right-hand side, so I want to get rid of them from the left-hand side. This is a positive 6x, so a negative 6x will cancel it out. I subtract 6x from each side. If my letters are going on the right, I want my numbers over on the left, so the opposite of subtracting 8 is to add 8. So I add 8 to each side, and now I've got rid of all of them from the right-hand side. What do I end up with? The left-hand side, it's just 12. 4 plus 8 is 12. Is less than, on the right-hand side, 9x minus 6x is 3x. And the 8's cancel. Last step, to get 3x on its own, changing colour, still causing me problems. Divide by 3 on each side. That leaves me 12 divided by 3 is 4, is less than x. There you go, they're the inequalities. As I said, the same as solving equations, except if you multiply or divide by a negative, you change the direction of the sign. Last little one, they've given you the area of a trapezium rule. Area is a half times a plus b multiplied by h. What are the a, b, and h? H is the perpendicular height. Perpendicular means at right angles. A and b are just the two sides that are parallel to each other. So basically finding the average width, timesing it by the height. It's just a rectangle rule. Sub in the numbers 3, 7, and 9 and figure it out. So the area equals 1/2, A is 3, B is 7, and H is 9. It's not usual to work across the page, but I don't have much choice here. So I've got a half. 3 plus 7 is 10 times 9. Now it doesn't matter if you go half of 10 times 9 or half of 10 times 9 first, you're still going to get 45 either way. Let's just check it. Half of 10 is 5, 5 9s are 45. If I chose 9 times 10 first, I've got 90, 1/2 of 90, 45. Got a bit of rearranging to do here because I'm going to have 28 equals 1/2. A is 6, B is the one I don't know, and H is 4. Well, because I can multiply in any order, I'm going to go 4 times a half first. That's just 2, isn't it? So what I've got now is 28 equals 2 times 6 plus B. I can now divide each side by 2 to get rid of that 2. Remember how I said we can sometimes expand the bracket? We did it just up here, didn't we? We expanded the bracket because 4 didn't go into 7. Here in this one, 2 goes into 28. So it's a good chance to just do the division straight away. What does that leave me with? Half of 28 is 14. So 14 equals 6 plus b. Obviously, to get b on its own, I've got to get rid of the 6. How do you get rid of a positive 6? You change your pen color again, and oh, now I'm touching the wrong thing with my hand as I'm resting on there. Hope I'm not causing anyone problems with the screen flashing there. All back under control. 14 minus 6 is 8. And on the right-hand side, I have b, so 8 equals b. Transpose the formula area of a trapezium to make A the subject. This is not like music where we have to change the key that it was written in. It just means rearrange to make A the subject means A equals whatever. Okay, well we can do that, little a. So here I've got A equals 1/2 little a plus b multiplied by h. And all we're going to do is exactly what we do if we're going to rearrange an equation or solve it. First thing I'm going to get rid of is that 2. So I'm going to multiply each side by 2. You can also see I've got to divide by h because this thing in brackets is being multiplied by h, so I've got to divide by h. And you can see this is what I was talking about when I said multiplication by the reciprocal. Saves you a bit of time and makes it easier. So 2a divided by h equals, and on this side I've just got a plus b left over. Well, that's easy now to get rid of b, isn't it? I just subtract b from each side. So little a is equal to 2a divided by h minus b. And we finally got there, even with a 5-hour interruption in the middle. I hope that helps. I'll keep them coming. You keep doing your work and checking in with me if you're still having trouble. Keep it up, guys. Bye.